Hey guys, welcome to Chefolution. I'm Chef NCP and today I'm going to be showing you through the artichoke and spring greens carbonara. Let's get started. I'm just doing a half portion today guys, half recipe for cost effectiveness. You're going to have twice as much as ingredients. I'm just going to start by halving my lemon. You'll have a whole one, cut it whichever way you like, and I've got some cold water ready for the artichoke. I'm going to squeeze that in there. What this will do is this will just stop the artichoke from oxidizing and going brown. I'm going to save the other half. For when I'm prepping, I'm going to be rubbing lemon over the newly exposed areas to stop it browning, because artichokes brown extremely quickly. So let's start by just pulling out as many of these outer leaves as possible until we can get to the fleshy side. This could take a bit of time. This is a big artichoke. Thanks to my amazing suppliers. It gets easier as you get along. As you can see, we've got that beautiful colour, that familiar artichoke colour through there. I'm going to quickly rub over this with some lemon, being sure not to oxidise and go brown, so you've got a lovely green colour in our carbonara. Just slice it off. There we are, job's good. It's a perfect opportunity now to take the peeler and just take those off. Okay, so you've got beautiful artichoke. Just going to dip that into my lemon water for 2 seconds while I clean as I go. Happy days. Next, I'm just going to trim off the edge, exposing the lovely flower. Let's go a little bit further, I think. Okay. Just take these out and heads off. Like so. Back into my lemon water. And clean as we go. Lovely job. Just going to tidy these up a little bit. Next, we're just going to slice it in half and we'll reveal the choke. Now the choke is quite a thistly middle bit. You don't want that in there. So I'm just going to take a spoon, let's get some lemon on that newly exposed area. I'm going to take my spoon, bring my wastage closer, and I'm just going to spoon the choke out. I'm just gently scraping any excess out. Straight in. As you can see, if you don't use lemon quick enough, it starts to brown. So keep it straight in your lemon water. Take your time with this one, it's really important, this ingredient obviously. The rest of the prep, really simple. Don't panic. There we are. Be cool. I'm gonna go straight back into my lemon water. Next up is the spring greens. Named after the season, obviously. I'm just gonna take these really thick, stiff cores, the extension of the stems of each leaf, and then I'm going to roll it into a cigar shape. Once they're all done, and begin to chiffonade. I'm sure you've seen it plenty of times. It's like a cigar shape. You might be thinking that's a hell of a lot of spring greens, but don't worry, it'll work down. Next, I'm just going to layer these on top of each other one by one, like this, like so. When you're rolling these, just do it really, really gently. Don't want to bruise your beautiful spring greens. If you notice any wilted edges, just trim them off. I'm going to cut this in half and start from there. Roll it reasonably tight. So I'm just going to trim off this edge. I want these nice and thin so they cook really quick, so I can just get them straight in the pan. Without having to pre-wilt them in boiling water. As thin as you possibly can, guys. That'd be great. Same with the bottom edge. I'm just going to trim this edge off. So we've got nice, even ribbons throughout the dish. You've got knife skills like a ninja, happy days. If not, just take your time. Just nice, thin strips. Back to my artichoke. Just going to trim off as much of the purple area as possible. You will need a very sharp knife, preferably a little bit sharper than mine. And again, nice and thin. and back into my lemon water. Next we've got our shallot, nice banana shallot. We're going to dice this, simply slice it in half lengthways, keeping the core. The same with my garlic. Garlic cooks a little bit faster than shallot, so just slightly larger dices. Next we've got our eggs. Just separate the yolk. I'm basically just letting the egg white drip through my fingers like a sieve. I'm just gonna beat those together. I don't want it extra thick. Just make sure they're fully incorporated. And we're good to go. That's the prep, done. Next onto the cooking. Okay, I've got my pasta water on the boil. It's on a rolling boil. I'm just going to go in with a big pinch of salt. Some say that pasta water should taste like the water of the sea. I'm just going to let that go in there and drop down in there. Meanwhile, I've got my oil on a low temperature at the moment in my frying pan. Again guys, this is just 1/2 of the recipe. That's going to take about 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, alright? While that's cooking, I'm going to bring my temperature up to a medium-high heat. I've got an electric stove guys, so you know, these things take a while. Just check your pasta every now and then. You just want to reach an al dente. It might not take 5 minutes. Make sure you check it in about 3 minutes. The reason we want al dente, guys, is once it goes back into the pan, it's cooking twice. So if you've got overcooked pasta to start with, you're going to have super overcooked pasta and it will be stodgy, claggy, not great. Good way to check if your oil's hot enough. Just put a little bit of water into the oil. It should start making a spattering noise. I'm going to turn my heat up to full blast with electric and then turn it down just to get that oil hot. I don't want my oil to be too hot by the time my eggs go in, because they'll scramble and I won't have a nice rich sauce. I can already hear that water pitter pattering in there, so I know the oil's getting hot. Don't know if you guys can hear it. Just going to turn that temperature down to a medium. I'm going to take that off the heat and let the residual heat of the water just cook that through. Rotate my oil around the pan, and I'm going to end in with my garlic and shallots. And a nice pinch of salt, that'll help the cooking process. 2 birds, 1 stone, so say. I'm happy with that, guys. I'm just going to strain off my artichokes. Go straight in the pan. Pasta's ready. Try and save some of that pasta water, guys. It's going to help the sauce go nice and glossy. This is quite a big artichoke, guys. It's going to take a little bit longer than the spring greens. So just cook those for a few minutes. And what I'm looking for is a nice ring in the centre of the pasta. Still a bit firm, but once it goes in that pan, it's going to cook further. You're going to have perfect linguine. Now turn the heat up ever so slightly. Once your artichokes are reasonably tender, start going in with your spring greens. I think that's enough, guys. Another little pinch of salt, bit of pepper if you like. Just another little helping the boil. And then allow that to wilt down. Now you can see that dark green going a vibrant spring green. No pun intended. You might be thinking I've only got a small pan, but I assure you, this will be fine. I'll make it work, don't you worry. Make sure you're using a large pan. You're going to have twice as much. Just taking this off the heat now. I'm going to let that do its thing for a little bit. I'm going to go in my pasta. A small ladle, some of my pasta water. Just fully incorporate that together, guys. So I'm going to go down to a really low heat. My stovetop's going to take a while to turn down. Lovely spring carbonara. See, lovely gloss on the pasta. Nice shine in there. Don't overcook my eggs. I'm going to go in with my egg yolk. And another little splash of pasta water. Just consistently take it on and off the heat. You don't want your eggs to scramble. See any curdles? Just go in with a little tiny splash of water. Nice glossy carbonara sauce. Yeah guys, make sure you're using a bigger pan than mine. Even a wok if you prefer. In here I've just got my basil, my parmesan. I'd say now's a great time to go on with that. Nice, healthy amount of parmesan. Fragrant basil. You can smell this one coming. Just stir that through. And that parmesan is just going to help it season that little bit extra. Don't add any more salt. If you have a little taste now, sauce should be fully cooked through. If you need a bit more seasoning, just go in with a little bit more cheese. And there you have it guys. Chef Aleutian's artichoke and spring greens carbonara. So guys, I'm just going to show you a little serving suggestion. Just get a nice twist of the pasta. Plate. And just with the residual sauce and artichokes, just going to get those down to the edge of the pan and just let them naturally fall. There we have it, guys. Chef-Olution's artichoke and spring greens carbonara. Yes, chef.